Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Spotlight. Dave Weishottle with you. I'm excited to talk to our next guest because he works at one of my favorite casinos in the world. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia has some of the best slots, restaurants, has a great poker room, and the best table games you can find at any casino. And now they're giving you a chance to become part of those great table games because they are taking applications for a free 6-week table games dealer school. And we're going to find out all about this incredible opportunity because on the line we have Jeff Favre, Vice President of Table Games at Live Casino Philadelphia. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
I told you off air, I love Live Casino Philly. It's one of my favorite casinos in the country. I live right across the river in New Jersey, so I'm there all the time. But for people listening out there who have never been to Live Casino Philadelphia, tell us a little bit about it. What does it have to offer people when it comes to gambling and visiting the property?
You know, we pretty much have an experience that would be familiar for, pretty much any player, any patron that would, visit a casino in Las Vegas. Maybe not as big as some of the, the mega resorts out on the Strip, but, we have table games, blackjack, roulette, craps, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Baccarat, 3-card poker, 4-card poker, Mississippi Stud, Double Down Madness, probably forgetting a game or two, but we have a full inventory and offering of pretty much every game that you would want to play if you're in Vegas or if you're in any other casino, Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun. It doesn't really matter. We have it, all the slots, poker, nice food venues, hotel. It's a great property.
It is, yeah.
If you haven't been, I can tell you that I think that you wouldn't be disappointed. You would actually have a good experience and something that you would walk away from and hopefully want to come back. Got the best employees without a doubt.
The service is great there, and it's just a great property. And you're Vice President of Table Games at Live Casino Philly. What are some of the table games that are offered at the casino? Because every time I visit the casino, those games are extremely busy. You're doing a great job.
We have right at 90 games in total. Wow. We have a separate high limit room where we offer a roulette, baccarat games, and blackjack. And then out on the main floor, we have 5 or 6 pits. And wow. In those 6 pits, we pretty much have the games that I mentioned early on when we started talking, but blackjack, of course, probably being the most popular game. And then next is probably Baccarat. And then probably a coin toss or a coin flip between craps and roulette. And then we have the carnival games. Carnival games are novelty games. Some of them, most of them are like a spinoff of some type of poker derivative. 4-card poker, 3-card poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, crisscross poker. Then we have Double Down Madness, which is kind of a blackjack variant game with some twists to it. We will be adding a game or two here within the near future with some projects that we have coming online. So it's a full arsenal of games that you would pretty much experience at any other casino.
Now, I was telling you off air, I think I had the best burger in my life over at Sport and Social, and I know you're a fan of it too. And you have some.
I can attest to that. It's a good burger. It is a good burger.
You have the best restaurants there too. That's such an important topic for people who are visiting casinos. Every time someone hears I'm at a casino, they want to know what restaurants are there, or can you tweet out the menus to some of those restaurants. In terms of restaurants, what can people expect to find at Live Casino Philadelphia?
We have a good variety to choose from. I had dinner yesterday evening at Prime.
Oh yeah,
which is our steakhouse, and the steak was delicious. Had the scallops as a appetizer, which was phenomenal. Of course, I had lunch, and I had the smash burger, which probably I should probably cut back on that thing a little bit. Probably eating it a little bit too often, but it's so darn good that I gotta have it.
That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough working in a place with that much good food. I mean, how can you deny yourself that burger though?
I don't.
Yeah, good for you. Good.
I don't. I eat it too much. I need to cut back on it. But we have Sports and Social is our sports venue, which you can have all the likings of any sports bar, chicken wings and chicken tenders and nachos. Oh, nachos are phenomenal there too. They're really good. But then we also have an Asian restaurant, Luck Fu, which has a lot of great dishes. We have Chino Steaks. We have Lorenzo's Pizza. We have on weekends we have South Philly Barbacoa.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if that's correct, the proper name, but I think I'm close to it. And Termini Brothers, coffee and just pastries and things. So we got a good food lineup, and pretty much kind of anything that you're looking for. Most palates can be served, and we do a good job.
Now, a few years back, we had Rob Norton on the show, and for people out there who don't know, he's the president of Cordish Gaming Group. And I told him, if you're a Philly sports fan, Live Casino Philadelphia has to be one of the greatest locations that a casino can have. The casino is located pretty much in the middle of where the Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, and 76ers play. And I know you're a big sports fan. You have a very famous brother who was an NFL quarterback. But I got to ask you, on game day, how crazy is that casino? I mean, regardless of what team is playing.
You can feel the energy on game days. It's a different energy. It can become electric depending on the plays or what's exactly happening during a game. It's really cool to feel it. You can feel an elevated energy that's just you can feel it in your body. And for people that's been here on game days, can probably attest to what I'm saying and experience it or know it themselves. It gets pretty wild in there sometimes, and it's a great experience. I mean, it's a great location right here in the Stadium District, like you said, and we have people that just come in and out nonstop throughout the day. It's an experience that is unique, for me and for pretty much probably most. I mean, I can't think of another casino property that is located in the Stadium District like we are. You may be, a solo property that is, within you could say a walking distance, but you don't have all of the stadiums right here on top of you like we do. And to me, that's really it has its positives and its negatives, but overall more positive than negative. And it's definitely a unique experience for both the game watcher as well as the person that wants to come in and play. So it creates an energy that's unique, and I think it's special.
I want to get to the table games dealer school. I mean, that's such a great idea to get well-trained staff into the casino. I'm not sure if your dealer school is more well-publicized than other dealer schools, but I don't hear a lot of this kind of program in all the other casinos that I speak with and I visited. What was the inspiration for creating the dealer school? Because it's such a great idea, and it's a great way to recruit staff.
Yeah, we haven't been doing it. I think we've done a total of about five or six classes now. We're about to finish up another one. This will be our second or third blackjack class. We started it back at towards the end of last year. I want to say in either the end of Q3 or beginning of Q4, so like September, October timeframe we started. And primary reason why we're doing it is just to create a consistent, steady pipeline of talent that we can send to the floor and open up games. I mean, if you're going to be in the business of table games and you have 90 games on your floor, it's pretty important that you open them and you're consistent with that. And we're all competing for the same talent, and unfortunately, the pool has become pretty pretty shallow. When you look at, we're all competing. So you got all the casinos within the Philadelphia market, Atlantic City, and now you have New York that opened.
Sure.
It creates a pretty competitive environment. So we're all fighting for that same talent, and we felt that it would be in our best interest to develop something internally in house that we're in control of, and that we can mold and develop these candidates and students into team members that we want on the team, that's going to deliver the type of service that we want a guest to experience and walk away from their experience that day and have a desire to come back because we delivered.
I said it was for 6 weeks, but I'm curious, how many days per week of those 6 weeks do you have training, and how often do you meet, and are there different sessions at different times of day? How does the scheduling work for the dealer school?
So it's 5 days a week. The classes run 4 hours each. So we've kind of moved the times around to try and accommodate people's schedules, and we'll continue kind of with that approach. Haven't really determined kind of what are the best times yet, because people's schedules are all different. So we kind of get a demand for different times, some of them odd times, some of them within your normal workday, but we're probably going to end up expanding it and adding more times. But we start another school on September 8th, and on that one we'll do an 8 a.m. class and a 12 p.m. class and a 4 p.m. class. But the 4 p.m. class is more for internal team members to learn additional games. The 8 and the 12 will be open to, of course, anyone that wants to come in the public, and we'll do it for 6 weeks. I think we have a week, I guess you could say a makeup week right after that, and then we turn back around and we'll start another school, and we'll post those times for those, but probably going to be 12 and 4 to the public, and 8 will probably be for the internal. But we're still playing with the times because we're trying to accommodate where we can get the most students and candidates within the classes, and hopefully some people work from 9 to 5, some people work from 10 to 6, some work 12 to 8. I mean, people work all kind of different times, so trying to figure out what's the best time to get the most students into the classes is still something that we're experimenting with, and it will kind of be a revolving schedule for a little while until we kind of get that figured out. Had good turnout so far.
Yeah, I'm curious, what will the games that the students will be trained on? I mean, do you teach them to do all the table games in the casino? Do they sign up for certain games they want to deal? I mean, what games will be taught during the 6 weeks?
No, when they come in for the blackjack class is the primary game that they will learn. But of that, you have many of the carnival games that they will learn as part of that 6 week class. So blackjack will be the primary game, which we consider a core game. And then the secondary games will be Spanish 21, Double Down Madness, 4-card poker, 3-card poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Mississippi Stud, Crisscross Poker, and High Card Flush. So they will know, how to deal all of those games when they finish the 6 week class and pass the audition and pass the background check with the state, and then hopefully by then we can get them to the floor and deal them to our guests.
Now, table games aren't created the same. I know certain customers find certain table games challenging, or they have a knack to play a particular table games. I'm curious, is it that way for dealers too? Do certain dealers have a better technique for one table game over another? Will certain dealers be better suited for a particular type of table game? How does that work with dealers?
I'd probably say that, it's probably just like anything else. Certain people are better at some things than others, and they kind of gravitate towards certain jobs or tasks or games in this instance. So you do have some that prefer to deal one game over the other, but we try and rotate it pretty fairly and pretty routinely, to where, whatever games they're licensed to deal, that they're getting spread to those games on a routine basis. So in other words, if I'm licensed to deal blackjack and roulette and craps, I work 40 hours in a week. I'm not just going to deal, blackjack for 40 hours and I don't deal roulette and craps, because we try and keep them moving and working on those games so they can keep their skills and their mind fresh on the games, to remember the payouts, the procedures, how we handle things, to where they stay on top of it. If you don't deal the game for quite some time, it's hard to remember all the stuff that you need to remember to be able to deal the game proficiently and be productive with it. So we try to spread it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we may not do the best job of it, but I think we do a pretty good job of it here. We have a scheduling system that kind of help us manage it. I mean, we're talking about, let's see, I think I've got a total of about probably close to 350 dealers, somewhere around in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of dealers, and of course we're 24/7, and we don't shut down, so you always have a demand, and of course weekends are busier than the midweek, so you'll have over 100 dealers on shift tonight. Mm-hmm. So it's fun. One thing I can tell you about dealing is hopefully you're a people's person. If you're a people's person, and you can count, you've got a chance to really have a lot of fun, mm-hmm. and we encourage having fun here. So it's a lot of places. I can't say that it's that much fun to work, but we try to get them to have fun, because it's infectious. If you're having fun, then the people playing at your table is having fun, and then that kind of spreads over to the next table, and on and on. So having fun is something that I don't know of too many people that don't like to have fun. Yeah. So if you like to have fun, we'd be a great fit for you.
I got to tell you, I love watching dealers when I'm in a casino. What's fun for me as a customer is how they handle chips. I mean, I'm so uncoordinated with chips, but some dealers are so smooth when they give out chips and they take back chips. It's one of those weird things that I notice in a casino. Is that something that is taught from dealers, or is that just a talent that dealers develop over the years of working on the gaming floor?
So the very first week and the very first days of school, that's one of the first things you will start learning is how to cut checks.
Okay.
So, and you will do that pretty much a lot of the initial days from starting. Most of your day will be chip cutting and how to handle chips with both hands, proper way to handle the chips, how to bring them in, how to cut them out, how to rack them, how to basically size them in and pay bets. So that's really kind of the first week. You kind of start with that mostly, and just the basics of the game, just the fundamentals. And but chip cutting is probably the beside the fundamentals of the game itself. Chip cutting is probably the biggest focus on the first week.
Being a gaming lawyer and talking to a lot of casinos and interviewing a lot of gamblers on this show, one of the most important things for a casino is game security. How the cards are dealt and what the body mechanics are of a dealer is extremely important for a casino and for a gambler for completely opposite reasons. When it comes to mechanics, what will the students learn from this course?
Well, I mean, we're very regulated. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, whether they know this or not, we're highly regulated. We have the regulations or the laws that are passed within the state of or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that we have to abide by. And what that then triggers is a set of rules or internal controls that we have to submit to the state and we have to operate within. And within those internal controls, you have all kinds of procedures that satisfies the regs and the laws of the Commonwealth within their gaming law. and you have to operate within that, that framework. And it's very specific, how you do things, what you don't do, and you have to follow it. So each game has, very specific, parameters that we have to work within. So they'll learn all of that, which, I mean, it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna discount it, because there's a lot that you have to remember. But you get better as you do it. Repetition, of course, is going to be your best teacher, and the more that you do it, the stronger that you will get. It's kind of the reason why when I say that, if I dealt all three of those games, being craps, roulette, and blackjack, that I have to deal them all consistently on a routine basis. Otherwise, I tend to forget, or I get sloppy with one of those that I don't deal that often. And with all the rules that we have to abide by, it's important that we do share them with the games, and they get on the games, pretty balanced, so they can keep their skills up. Hard thing to do, it really is. It's not an easy thing to do, because you don't have you just can't open an unlimited amount of games every day, that you don't need. And not every dealer has craps. They may have blackjack, roulette, but they don't have craps and baccarat. You may have a dealer that has baccarat and blackjack and craps, but don't have roulette, and on and on. And I could go through a bunch of different scenarios, but I think you kind of get the picture. But
sure,
it's hard to kind of get them scheduled, on the games that we have, and try and keep them on the games balanced, and keep the guest happy, and keep the games flowing. It's a juggling match. You're not juggling just baseballs. You got a softball in there, maybe a golf ball, and maybe a racquetball too.
What's fascinating about dealers in a casino is how much they have to control at a table that a lot of things are happening at. I mean, people are putting on chips. People are giving them money to get chips from the table. I mean, I always found that fascinating, that dealers can keep track of everything going on during a game. Is that one of those things that is taught at the program?
We do teach it. We call it, walking your game.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you don't. So when you deal, depending on the games and everything and how many spots you have at the game, you deal certain ways. You'll only come to, the first two spots, you only go with the left hand, and the last two spots to the right, you probably don't use your left hand. The reason why you do that is so you can always have a peripheral of being able to see the game at all times, and protect the rack, protect the cards, making sure that people aren't taking shots at you and trying to, pass post, or, take and pitch some money back off of a bet if it's a losing bet that they know, whatever it is that guests are going to try and do. And, people do take shots, every now and then. It happens kind of routinely, but not a whole bunch. I mean, it's just sometimes people just make bad decisions. And most part, we usually catch them. Dealers are, that's what they have to do to pay attention to the game and make sure they don't turn their back and have a blind spot.
Now, reading about the program, I saw that part of the instruction for the potential dealers were responsible gambling practices. A couple weeks ago, I interviewed Doug Harbach from the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board.
Yeah, I know Doug.
Yeah,
Doug's a good guy.
He was a great interview. Everyone from Pennsylvania is a great interview here. And I know how great Pennsylvania has been about responsible gaming and protecting the customers in the state. What are some of the practices that you'll be teaching the prospective dealers regarding responsible gambling, and what are you telling them to be aware of as part of their job as a dealer?
One of their first obligations or assignments is actually before they can even, I think, get too far into. They may not even be able to start the program. Actually, they have to go through the responsible gaming training, and that kind of teaches you what to look for, what to expect, and what do you do if you have a situation that arises, and how do you handle it. That's one of the very first things that they're obligated to complete. That's everyone. That's not just dealers. That's all the team members on the property, and then we have to have refresher training every year as well. So I have to go through it. The dealers have to go through it. So it's not an option. It's mandatory.
Sure.
And if you don't do it, then you're taken off the schedule. You can't work until you complete it. So it's taken serious.
Mm-hmm.
It is a serious matter, and it's one that we don't take lightly. And you're dealing with people's lives, and
Sure,
you don't want to. Last thing you want to do is hurt someone's family life, or hurt them financially, or do anything that really puts them in a bad situation and creates hardship or burden that can have been avoided.
Tell me about some of the instructors that will be teaching the students. Are they dealers already working in the casino? Are there people from the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board talking to them? Who are teaching the students enrolled in the class?
We have trainers that basically are on payroll, and then they fall under the HR department. Then the trainers that I have fall under my department. But they focused on that particular stuff, and there's more stuff too that they focus on that's specific to the industry, specific to the department that they're going to be working within. There's two of them in HR that kind of focuses on the training aspect of it. They're good, they're solid, and I got two trainers in table games that come from a table games background that has dealt themselves and has been floor supervisor, dual rate dealer. So they've worked in the business for a while. They've dealt the games. They've been on the floor. They've been in the trenches. They understand it, and so they teach it from a perspective that they know, and which is important. I tell you, I don't know how you could teach table games if you've never really dealt it or was
Sure.
in it on the floor for some time. It'd be hard for you to teach it.
So I also need confirmation on what I've read about this program. Not only do you get free parking, but you also get a complimentary meal for each session. I mean, so you're teaching them and you're also feeding the students as well. I mean, did I read that right? Because if I did, I'm going to enroll in some of these classes, Jeff.
Yeah, no, you read it. You read it correctly.
Oh boy.
Part of that is we just want to. We want to appreciate, their efforts to come in and learn.
Sure.
And look, I know it may not seem like much, but a meal goes a long way.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
It's part of also the training effort. So one thing about being a dealer is you're on a pretty tight string, rubber band schedule, whatever you want to call it, to where you rotate. You'll see the dealers that, they rotate from table to table, and they have their breaks, and usually their breaks are only 20 minutes. So part of what we're trying to do is thank them and show our appreciation for their efforts in getting to school, coming to school, but also training them how to go and have lunch and do everything you need to do within a 20-minute window, because you got to get back to the floor. Because what happens if you don't get back to the floor, you're not tapping out that dealer whose now's break is going to be cut down to 19 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes, depending on how late you would go back to it. So, returning punctually, being punctual throughout the day is pretty important, because you have a lot of teammates depend on that punctuality, and you got to be a good team member and think about others, not just yourself. Kind of part of the training too.
So how is a student graded or evaluated is probably a better word? Is there a written test? Is there an oral test? Are they evaluated throughout the instruction? What's that evaluation process like during the 6 weeks of instruction?
They will actually take written tests. They will actually do auditions. They will do mock auditions, mock tests, and then they will actually do the formal test. So they get a pretty good chance of exposure to what it is that we're looking at as far as the rules, the regulations, the math, the payouts. You probably start the second week and starting to get into some of that. And by the third week, I think you do your first mock audition. And if you do well, then you just kind of continue to improve your skills. And You'll do another audition. I think we do probably 3 mocks before your one that counts to basically be able to receive your credentials or your license that would authorize you to be able to deal that game in the Commonwealth of PA per the Pennsylvania Game Control Board regulations. So the good thing about it is if you get your license and credentials to deal blackjack through our school, you would be able to deal blackjack pretty much anywhere in the Commonwealth, as long as you have that certificate that says that you completed the school successfully. You can deal blackjack for any casino within the Commonwealth, and they require that. The Commonwealth, I mean, Pennsylvania Game Control Board requires that for you to be able to actually deal on the floor. You have to have that.
So if people are interested in the 6-week table game dealer school, what are some of the requirements in order to enroll in the class? Do they have to be a certain age? Do they have to bring any documents with them, like a birth certificate, driver's license, resume? What do they need to show you in order to be enrolled in the table games dealer school?
You know what? We can't hire below 18, but we can hire dealers that are 18 years of age and older. So 18 years and older, you will fill out some of the paperwork in the onboarding session that HR and the trainers do. I think they call it info sessions. You'll go through and they'll kind of walk you through. They'll do a PowerPoint and they'll kind of tell you what to expect and what you can expect in the job itself, what you can expect from the school. They provide details. They'll show you some slides and some of the different things that you can expect to see. And kind of towards the end of it, they say, okay, does this seem like this is something for you? And if it is, then continue on, and they'll complete the class, and then they'll actually get them signed up and walk them through everything that they need to do. It's pretty well done. Our business partner from Human Resources, Karen, is really on top of it. She does a good job. She will keep them on point. She will make sure that they have everything that they need and what they need to do to be able to be eligible and get them enrolled and have them lined out to be here for day one. So it's not a whole bunch. I mean, I think you just got to be 18 years old. You need to have a good personality. Look to come to a place where you're a good team member. You think about your teammates. You like to have fun. You can smile more than you need to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and you can deal the cards and basically make sure the guests leave happy.
So how often do you offer the table game as dealer school? Is it a couple times a year, or how many times can people apply?
We are actually starting, like I said, the next school on September 8th, and after that, we're pretty much rolling right back into another one. So
wow, okay.
we expect to continue to do them back to back and ongoing, nonstop. We may take a break towards the end of the year and kind of catch our breath and see where we are and kind of lay out the plan for 2027. But we really don't intend to stop. We intend to basically just keep offering the classes throughout the entire year. We're looking to expand it with adding more class times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To accommodate people that they work day shift 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 that we can have some classes later on in the night. And if there's even people that's working later shifts, evening shifts, that we can do something early mornings and even potentially late night. So we're exploring all kind of different options and times to try and accommodate people's schedules. We know people have families, they have kids in school, they have jobs, and it's hard to manage all of that and try and go to a school. But there's people in school now that's going to college that heck takes you 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, and 2 years to get an associate or a 2-year technical degree. 6 weeks and to get a job to go work in the air condition, where you have, free salad bar, free sodas, free coffee, lunch that's hot prepared every day, breakfast hot prepared for cost. It's not a bad gig.
No, and you get to play a game for a living. How great is that?
You get to play games all day. All you got to
day.
do is make sure that you're smiling and the people that leave your table is happy, and make them want to come back.
Jeff, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website so if people are interested in enrolling in the Table Games Dealer School, they can do so? And if you have a website for Live Casino Philadelphia itself so people can check it out, because it's an amazing property. You have to visit it. And any social media address you want to give out, go knock yourself out.
Yeah, you could just go right on our on the Live website, our Live Philadelphia, and you can click on it. It's going to say jobs and careers. You can click on it, just put in dealers, and it'll pretty much guide you. It's fairly easy. Look, I'm not very I guess you could say technically inclined or website, internet, all that stuff. I'm not the best at it, and if I can find it,
sure, then
I pretty much say that anyone can find it. In today's world, with the technology as advanced as it is, all you got to do is just go to a search engine and put in Live Casino. Then it asks you the location. Philadelphia, of course, is our location. You click on it, and it'll pretty much pull up the website, and then you go to the careers part, and it'll give you everything you need. It's not hard. You like I said, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So it's pretty easy. Yeah, just click on it and just look on the website, and it's there. You can go down to the bottom, it says careers. Click on that, and then it'll take you through it.
Jeff Farr, Vice President of Table Games at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia, thank you so much for coming on and talking about the 6-week Table Games Dealer School. I think it's an amazing opportunity if people want to work in the industry, because they get to learn the games and how the industry works with some real hands-on instruction. Please come back and keep us up to date about what's happening with Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, no problem. I had fun. It was fun. So have a great day. Have a great weekend.
You too. That'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.